What's up guys, Meredith with American Muscle, and today we're checking out the Pipes Cut and Clamp Resonator Delete H pipe fitting all 2015 and newer GT Mustangs. Now no lie, the factory system does sound great on its own, but if you want an affordable solution for more of that muscle car aggression for your S550 or S650, this H-pipe is a great way to do it. Now this will even pair well with an aftermarket system if you really want to push the limits and open up that 5-liter and even get a little bit more power out of your GT. Now as you just heard from our sound clip, this will do a great job at increasing the volume, but not going to be over the top. So paired with a stock exhaust, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 on the Wake the Neighbor scale, but if you have an aftermarket system, it could bump you up to a 4 or a 5 if you really want to turn some heads with your GT. Now an H-pipe is probably one of the easiest and most affordable ways to modify the sound of your Mustang when it comes to a non-raspy yet aggressive tone, in addition to some more volume, and this is going to do just that. Now the Resonator Delete will eliminate a ton of restriction compared to the factory suitcase, which will increase that volume with whatever system that you have bolted up, stock or not. Now when it comes to those power numbers, I wouldn't expect anything too drastic out of this system. However, this will help with some small horsepower and torque numbers because of that restriction decrease, making it a fantastic supporting mod. This is made of a 409 stainless steel construction, which will help you out a bit on price and still hold up very well to rust over time. Now the piping will also be 2.5 inches and mandrel bent, so you're gonna get smooth flow throughout the system in addition to factory sizing, keeping it compatible with your system from the factory and most aftermarket options. This will also reuse the factory caps, so no need to worry about them when it comes to emissions. Now the H-pipe also won't require any welding with the included clamps, making the install a bit more hassle-free. Now this system will come in at about $200, which I think is a pretty affordable choice compared to others in the category. I think you're getting great quality here at this price point. You're also getting quality materials, solid welds, and all the hardware that you need in a complete kit that will last years on your GT. Not to mention, this system, compared to other sound altering solutions in general, allows you to grow with the system rather than replace it if you do want to switch up the sound, making it a great option to consider. Now install will be a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you roughly 2 hours, give or take, to get your GT modified and this installed. So at this point we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how to get this onto your GT at home. So that's gonna wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into it.
For this install, you will need an impact, extension, 13 and 15 millimeter sockets, a soft mallet, a marker, as well as a cutting wheel or a sawzall to cut your exhaust. Also not shown here is a pole jack or jack and jack stands. What's up guys, today we're going to be installing an H-pipe on our Mustang here, but before we do that, we're going to send you to watch a short clip on how to uninstall your factory catback setup, because that will need to be removed, and then we'll see you when you get back.
First up here guys, grab a 15 millimeter deep socket. We're going to loosen up, but not completely remove, the nuts on both of the band clamps here, connecting your factory resonator to your headers. So we're just going to loosen these guys up. All right, next step, we're gonna be at our rear subframe right behind our diff. Now you'll see these hangers connect to the subframe itself using two 13mm bolts. Now we don't have to remove the hangers from the isolators. We're actually just going to unbolt the whole isolator bracket from the frame. So grab a 13mm socket, and I like to use an extension to go right over the sway bar, and we're going to remove these. Now from there, what I'm going to do is just lift up on this and swing these guys down. There's a little locking tab here that just hooks in. We just want to unhook that. So you may have to lift up on the exhaust and then bring it down. All right, next step, before we remove the whole exhaust in one piece, I recommend grabbing WD-40 or something similar with this needle here to just lubricate the hanger above your tips. This is going to make removing it a whole lot easier. All right, do the same thing on the other side. Next step, guys, we're going to take our exhaust off all in one piece. Now, you may want a helping hand if you're using a lift like we are. If you work on the ground, might be a little easier for you to do by yourself. I'd recommend having a mallet to knock these band clamps back a little bit, disconnect it from this side, swing it back toward the front of the vehicle, and set it aside.
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Now that we've shown you how to remove your factory catback, we're going to go ahead and show you where to make your cuts for your H-pipe. Now we have a pre-cut system that we're going to be using on ours, but we will show you how to mark this out and tell you how you should cut it. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So this H-pipe setup follows the lines of your factory system. So what we're going to do is put our H-pipe portion here at our reduced ends for our Torca clamps, band clamps, at this side. Now you'll notice the factory exhaust after the resonator dips down. That's what exactly we're going to do as far as lining up our H-pipe. They have those same angles. And then we're going to go ahead and line this up here to where we can mark for our cuts. Make sure everything is pretty set. Now these do have slip fits so that your factory axle back is going to go into. So we're going to compensate our cut lines for the insert parts of those slip fits. So what we're going to do here, now that we've got everything lined up, we're pretty much going to come right back on the edge of the reduction of our slip fit expansion joint. And we'll go ahead and make our mark here. Now you want to leave as much meat as possible on this in case you do have to trim some back. You can always remove easier than you need to add. We'll go ahead and make our mark for both. And you want to make these lines as straight as possible. Keep everything nice and flush and even. And keep that following basically a 90 from the edge of your tubing. On this side as well. And once you have your marks made, you can go ahead and use, say, a Sawzall or a cutting wheel to go ahead and make your cuts on this. So now once you have your exhaust cut to where you like it, we can go ahead and reinstall our muffler sections independently. And we need to do this before we get the H-pipe on, so everything will line up at once like it's supposed to. So go ahead and get our rear hanger back into place. We can hang our subframe mount right there. So once we have that in, we can go ahead and reinstall our 13mm bolt for our subframe mount here. Go ahead and get that in. Then we can go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. So now we'll go ahead and grab our 13mm socket and extension. Go ahead and tighten these down. So next step, we're going to go ahead and slide our provided 2.5-inch clamps onto our factory axle back section. just so they're accessible and we don't forget them. Now we do have some pole jacks helping hold our mufflers kind of in the general area where we want them. That's always a good idea, or an extra set of hands to help you line this up, because it does get a little wonky once you've separated the mufflers from the rest of the exhaust. Next, we're going to go ahead and reinstall our factory band clamp onto our reduced section of our H-pipe. And we can go ahead and get our H-pipe onto our factory axle back section. This may take a little bit of effort to get them to line up perfectly. So now that we've made some adjustments, we go ahead and work our pipes in. This is going to be a pretty tight process no matter how you look at it. So once you have your slip fit seated, you can go ahead and grab a small mallet like you did for the resonator and give it just a light tap on the H-pipe section, just to make sure it seats as far as you can get it in. And once we have that on, we can go ahead and get our band clamp section lined up. So now that we have everything lined up, we can go ahead and start tightening down our clamps, and we'll start up here at our band clamps and work our way back. So we'll grab our 15 mil socket on our impact and go ahead and tighten these down. Now once we have those done, we can come back to our slip joint clamps. So now we can again come in with our 15 mil socket on our impact and tighten down these. Sure everything is nice and tight and secure. Nothing's loose, nothing's pivoting inside of any of your joints. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our pipes, cut and clamp resonator delete H-pipe for your 15 to current Mustang GT. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.